Hey everyone, welcome back to The Ordinary. It's Buddy here and I'm here with my brother Joe. Today's episode, we're gonna hit pause on this year and look back at Q1, which Joe told me is a finance term for quarter one, so the first 4 months of the year. And we're gonna kind of reflect on the highs and the lows, maybe even lessons learned and everything in between. So yeah, let's get into it and maybe even surprise ourselves with how much growth has already happened.
Yeah, sounds like a good idea. But if you were to think about your Q1, is there one word you would use to describe it?
Oh my god, that's tough. Do you want to go first?
Sure. For me, it would be a very simple word, change, right? For me, I gone through some changes. Number one, the biggest change being my career.
Right.
I started a new job.
Have you talked about that on the...
No, I don't think I've actually mentioned it, so this will be the first time I'm probably mentioning it. So that happened as well. I think in the previous episodes, especially the one about like 2024 recap and even like the 2025 goals and resolution, I might have teed up this topic or I might have mentioned it up earlier, but it was on, going through changes with my friend circle. So that has finally happened.
Oh, yes.
So like I would love to talk about that. And what other change has happened? Well, my face is currently changing.
Do you want to talk about why?
Yeah, so I just got back from a trip from Miami.
And a cruise.
And a cruise, yeah. We went on one of my friend's bachelor trip, Akshar's bachelor trip. And in the future, he will be coming on this podcast as well. There's an episode coming with him. But anyways, we were on the trip. And then, as Buddy mentioned, we went from the cruise to Miami. And the first thing that we did was kind of go on a boat.
Right.
Because you're in Miami, you got to get a yacht.
Exactly.
Right? I mean, our yacht was pretty small compared to the other yachts. But we got a yacht. It wasn't a boat. It was a yacht, which I want to make sure is...
Okay.
clear. Okay. And then what do you do on a yacht?
You sunbathe.
You sunbathe. You shake your ass on a yacht.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I didn't shake my ass on a yacht, but my friends were playing in the water. I was tired of the water because we spent the whole 3 days before that spending time in the water. So I was like, you know what? I'm brown. I don't need no sunscreen. Let me lie down and sunbathe. And now my face looks like a potato, like an actual potato with dark spots that are peeling and everything, and it's actually seriously bad.
But you went to the doctors, you got some vitamin E, some aloe vera, so
I'm on my way, but anyone listening to this, just because you're brown doesn't mean you can't get sunburned and apply sunscreen, because
that should be common knowledge at your age, but I'm glad you learned that this late in life.
Yeah, I'm a guy that likes to learn from experience.
Okay.
So I have to know before. Now I'll never mess around with the sun, and I'll always apply sunscreen. But yeah, I think the one word would be change, and I can talk more about the changes I went through later on, but what would be a word that you would describe?
I don't know. Okay, I'll use an odd word because I feel like it's like all-encompassing. It's really, ferment.
Ferment? Okay.
Yes, because I think all good things, you have to let them ferment.
Okay, like bread?
Right? Like bread.
Pizza.
My kombucha. I've had a lot of kombucha. I love kombucha, but I think that's kind of what inspired me to choose the word ferment, because a lot of the habits that I've developed, in a way, they've fermented, and I'm kind of reaping the benefits of it now. And I think that one word was a little bit of a stretch, but I'm just going to stick to ferment.
Yeah.
Internally, it means a lot.
Okay.
Can't really verbalize it, but yeah.
Ferment. So letting things take its place.
And take time, take place, yeah. I think a lot of things, if you give it the time it needs to, and you're disciplined and stuff, then you're going to see. Oh, you know what? For example, I don't even know what I'm saying. I'll be honest.
Okay, fair.
But fermenting, my goals in terms of the gym. Like, I'm seeing gains now.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
I see the point you're trying to get across. Like many goals and stuff that you set up for like 2025.
I'm slowly starting to see them come to fruition.
Yeah, like you're not gonna like obviously we're only through what like
4 months.
4 months,
Yeah.
right? And the fourth one is still going on.
Yeah.
So any hard work that you're doing, if it's like starting a new gym routine or if it's developing habits, the results you're not really going to see fully yet. You're gonna start seeing glimpses of them.
Yeah, exactly. I'm sorry, I should have chosen a better word, but
No, that's fair. I like the word ferment. Like you need to let stuff like ferment in your life, right?
exactly.
Even friendships, they get better over time,
Over time, yeah,
right?
very true.
They're gonna rise better.
Oh wow.
You know what I mean?
Yep. I think another thing we could mention in our Q1 could be like top like things we've been consuming, not food wise, but like it could be books that you've read or like a movie or a show or
Okay.
just like something cool like that.
Yeah. I mean, to be honest, like full disclosure, I'm really bad at watching TV shows and movies. So like whatever I have watched, I don't know if I mentioned it in previous episodes, but the new season of White Lotus just finished.
Right.
So I was watching that. I love that show just because it's like, it's kind of funny to just observe people. Like
It's very like satirical, but like
Yeah.
yeah.
Like, you know, if you like people watching, I think you would kind of like that show because you're kind of observing the lives of like a couple of different characters and you kind of like seeing how they're so like random, but they all come together
Yeah.
in the story, which I liked about season 1, season 2, and even season 3 was kind of like that. So White Lotus, if you haven't watched it, I would definitely watch that. I've also watched Severance. I finished
latest season.
Which was really good.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to give any spoilers, but I'm like, what the hell, man? Like, you went through all that just for that? Like,
Okay. I feel like you're gonna spoil.
Yeah, so I'm not gonna speak anymore. But like, a really good show. Other than that, I haven't really watched the movie I watched. I think that was probably the last proper movie I watched, which I mentioned in our last episode, which was Her.
Oh right, yeah.
Other than that, I don't think I really watched another movie that was like,
Interesting.
yeah. On the plane ride from Miami, I watched a comedy stand-up routine. I watched 2 stand-up routines. Andrew Schul's new one,
Yeah.
or Schulz, I don't know how to pronounce it, but that one was good. And then I watched the Nikki Glazer.
Glazer, yeah.
Glazer.
Glazer.
And the funny thing is, they were both like completely different. So Andrew Schulz is talking about like having his first kid and everything like that,
Yeah.
and getting pregnant. And Nikki Glazer or Glacier or whatever,
Glacier.
whatever her name was like, I don't never want kids.
Oh, that'd be like, okay, never mind.
Yeah, like so it was like a funny contrast, but
Oh.
both good stand-up routines. Yeah, other than that, no TV things that I'm really consuming.
I think in terms of TV shows, I started this not exactly when it came up, but it was one of those shows that was coming out like an episode weekly.
Mhm.
It's a medical show, which I low-key gave up on because I think the last medical show I properly sat down and watched was Grey's Anatomy, and it's common knowledge to anyone that's watched Grey's Anatomy that it can be like annoying to watch because there's so many seasons, so much happens. I don't know why the hospital hasn't been shut down yet. It's literally gone through like any catastrophic event you can think of.
Yeah.
And I don't even think Meredith Grey, the main character, is in it anymore. But I stopped watching like 10 seasons in or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
After that, kind of gave up on medical shows. But then I saw on my TikTok a clip of a show that was coming out these past few months called The Pitt, like the PITT, The Pitt. If you like medical shows, or even if you don't, I would 110% recommend that show. It is so good. It's like so unique in the sense that each episode is 1 hour into the same shift. So it had, I think, a total of 15 episodes. So 15 hours of one day or like one shift. And so it's the same characters, but then some near the end, like the night shift comes in and like those workers come in as well. And it's like so good. Even though a lot of the characters are fleeting, they come in for like maybe like a few minutes or something. Everything's so well developed and like they're very 3D. I don't even know how to describe it. It's a really good show though. And I'm so excited for another season. I think it got renewed. So they're probably going to make, I think it's an NBC show. I don't know. But that was a show that I loved. I binged every episode or every week. I would look forward to Thursdays when the episodes would drop. Other than that, did I watch any other shows? Oh, I finished Invincible. I talked about this earlier too. Like,
Yeah.
Invincible's coming out. That came out, like, finished a while ago, but finished Invincible. In terms of movies, because of school, I didn't really watch any movies.
Yeah.
I was like again, I prefer movies over shows, but because, like, the shows I was watching are, like, once a week,
Mhm.
I was able to, like, not get stay on them and not get too distracted and stuff. Oh, and recently, I think just because right now I've just finished exams, so I
Mhm.
finally have time to breathe. And whenever I'm not in school, I love watching, like, a copious amount of YouTube videos. So right now I've been spending a lot of my day just watching random YouTube videos. I really got into this one YouTuber called Magnus Mitbo. He's, like, a really goated rock climber, and then he goes to, like, a bunch of rock climbing gyms, disguises himself and stuff. You probably have seen clips on it
Yeah.
if you're online at all. But now I'm just watching, like he even did one with, you know who Alex Honnold is, right? Like, the guy
Yeah.
who free soloed El Cap or whatever. He did a video with him. He did one. He, like, basically just does video with a bunch of crazy athletic people, influencers, and he even did, like, the French Legion foreign French Legion, like this intense military training that they do, and he, like, subjects himself to all of that.
Mhm.
And it's crazy to see just how fit he is. I was like, oh my god, like, he's crazy fit, because you expect, like, a rock climber to have, like, upper body strength and stuff, but he's just, like, goated at everything.
Yeah, I feel like if you would think that unless you actually went and done rock climbing, then you realize that, like,
It's
your
crazy.
whole body
Your
just,
whole body, yeah.
yeah,
Like, watching his videos, I start to realize, like, you have a lot of legs involved
yeah,
in rock climbing. In order to not get fatigued, you have to make sure you're using your legs
yeah.
as well. And that's another thing that I want to do. We'll talk about this later, and, like, things we're looking forward to for, like,
Mhm.
the next quarter.
Yeah, next quarter, yeah.
Yeah. Wait, isn't this technically a third? Because we're doing it end of the fourth month.
You bought, how many months are there in a year?
12, but this is almost end of month 4. I know 3 is a quarter, but
Yeah, so
we're technically doing it late.
yeah, we're into Q2, not Q3.
Well, yeah, technically we're done.
We're not done Q2.
No, we're done third one, though.
Huh? We haven't touched any of the months of Q3 yet.
I'm not saying we're in quarter 3. I'm saying we're done 1/3 of the year, because April is about to end.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What?
Anyways, but yeah, in terms of, like, looking forward to, I really want to go rock climbing this summer quite a bit.
Mhm.
I have plans with Asha to go literally in a few days, which
Yeah.
is exciting. We're going to somewhere in Markham. But yeah, in terms of shows, it was The Pit, that medical show I was watching. Please go watch it if you haven't. Obviously watch Invincible.
Mhm.
And then I was just watching a lot of YouTube.
That's fair. That's fair. Any cool experiences from the first couple of months that you want to share, or
Oh yeah.
anything that you want to talk about?
I think the most coolest, and I think you're going to agree with me on this,
Mhm.
like, the best experience I've had so far these first 3 months, I guess, since we're
Yeah.
doing a quarter, is we recently both became an aunt and an uncle to a little baby boy.
Oh,
Our
yeah.
cousin and his
Mhm.
wife had a kid. He is so cute. I love him.
Yeah.
And we've gotten to go, we go visit every now and then and play with him, and he's so adorable. And it's just beautiful. And I think
Yeah.
that's my favorite experience of 2025 so far, is just being an aunt.
Yeah, I think I'm, like, excited for, like, being an uncle and, like, spending time
Yeah.
with him. Also, like, I have baby fever all the time. Like,
Anyways.
I love
Yeah.
babies, and I like, my Instagram reels are filled with, like, baby videos.
Yeah.
And now it's, like, so funny. Now is baby playing golf, like toddlers playing golf. So it's, like, a combination of the things I like. But yeah, I excited to, like, it was kind of crazy, like, the amount of growth that they go through.
I was just
within,
going
like,
to talk
couple
about
of weeks.
Oh, like,
right?
I took a course just this semester on aging and development,
Yeah.
and we spent a whole unit on just, like, from, like, fertilization
Yeah.
all the way till parturition when they're born.
Yeah.
Like, each week what changes happen and stuff, and then even after they're born,
Mhm.
like, every week you're gonna have weight gain and this change and
Yeah.
that change. And the first time I saw our nephew was when he was, I think for me, I saw him when he was like 10 days old or something, or
Yeah.
12 days old. And the next time I saw him was like a month later.
Mhm.
Oh my God, he was so much bigger, so much like fuller, like in his cheeks and stuff, and fatter. And
Yeah.
even at now, I think after that time, I went 2 weeks after that, and then again, he grew so much. It's crazy to see just like how quickly they grow.
Mhm.
It's like genuinely so cool.
Yeah, and like I got to see him. I think the second day that he was born.
Yeah.
So like I saw him fresh then, and like what he looked like then versus what he looked like in just.
They don't even look human. I feel like in like
Yeah.
the first. I mean, you probably can attest to this better because you saw him like right out of the womb. But
Yeah, I was kind of scared to hold him.
to hold him, yeah, I would
Because
be.
he's so fragile. And
Dude,
so
the first time I held him, I was like terrified.
Yeah, but that's really cool. For me, I think I kind of mentioned was that I started a new job and everything,
Right.
which has been a good timing in my life for it. The reason being, like, my old job was in accounting and finance, where I was kind of debating on like what to do, like what's the next step for me. Do I pursue professional designations? Do I pursue more studies and stuff?
Mhm.
So I was always kind of like trying to figure that out, and that was on my mind for the last couple of months.
Yeah.
But with this new position, I'm now transitioning into a corporate strategy role, which I kind of mentioned on 2 episodes ago.
Yeah.
The one with Shan, where I mentioned like the new like environment that I'm operating in, so which has been a big change for me. And because of that change, I've recently gotten a little bit more motivated and more engaged in my career, just because I got the opportunity to learn a little bit more and
Yeah.
learn new things and kind of work on skills that I haven't necessarily worked on in my past couple of roles. So that has been a good change for me. Another thing when I mentioned with change would be 2 of my friends are going to go become saints.
Or sadhus, yeah.
Sadhus,
Yeah.
right? So like for that means like they kind of, you can think of themselves like isolating from everyone else and leaving
Yeah.
the friend circle. So that has been a big change for a lot of our friends. We had a dinner at their house like before they were about to head out. It was very sad. Like if like think about it like this, 13 guys, like I think it was 13 of us all in a room together crying.
Aw.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it was that sad. And like so that has been a big change. But one thing I want to kind of highlight from Q1 or the biggest lessons, and then we can maybe transition into like a lesson that you picked up,
Yeah.
is that change is part of life and change will always happen. Your perspective on the change will determine how you go forward with it.
Yeah.
That has been my biggest key takeaway, because I could have taken many of the changes that I've gone through like in a negative way,
Mhm.
but just being happy for someone because they're pursuing something that they really love, even though it might be a little bit sad for me.
Yeah.
And like the selfish part of me doesn't want them to do that, but being happy for them has kind of helped me cope with that big change.
Yeah.
But yeah, what about you? Any big lessons or anything that you picked up?
I feel like change, like the lesson that you learned, I also feel like I had little moments where I kind of learned that lesson. Honestly, I feel like, so basically my quarter 1,
Mhm.
I felt very like positive. Like, yeah, I did have ups and downs and stuff with like school and stuff, but like,
Yeah.
like the classic school stress and stuff.
Mhm.
But I felt pretty like positive for like the majority of it.
Yeah.
And I think it has to do with how I've like been like framing things
Mhm.
in my head. Cause like this is nothing, whatever I'm about to say is like not profound, not new at all. But like
Mhm.
when you really, I guess for me, the biggest lesson learned was like gratitude, or just being like happy about the things I get to do.
Mhm.
Right? Because like 150% guaranteed someone else has it worse than you.
Yeah.
Right? And so just like when I'm like going through something, I'm like, at least I get the opportunity to go through this, right?
Yeah.
Like there's people out there that don't get to like pursue secondary education or something like that.
Yeah.
Because obviously it's important, because like I've also struggled with like accepting my emotions and like
Mhm.
like verbalizing them or whatever. So it's important to like feel your feelings.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's also important to like get out of that rut, like
Mhm.
like you can't just like sit with your feelings too much and then get too sad for yourself, right? Like
Mhm.
make it into something that is bigger than it is. Sorry, I did not word that properly.
Yeah. Like it's funny because even today when I was driving, I called one of my friends, like Maimun, and we literally talked about the same thing.
Yeah.
It's like if you were to sit down and just compare your life to other people around you, you're never really going to be happy,
Mhm.
because you're not going to take the time to appreciate what you have,
Yeah.
right? And the main reason what we're talking about right now was that we're kind of in the age group where a lot of people are going through many different phases in their life,
Yeah.
and everyone's timeline looks different. Like for example, like some of my friends, as I said, like they went and became sadhus. Or for me, some of my other friends, I just came from a bachelor trip, right? Because somebody's getting married this year, and a couple of friends are getting engaged and stuff like that. So everyone's just going through so much change and momentum and through in their life. So it's natural to sometimes like compare where you are, but then you look at it like, okay, I have this, they don't have that. They have this, I don't have that. So if you
Yeah.
were to just sit down and compare, you're never really going to be grateful for what
What
you
you
have.
have.
And you're going to start to feel a little bit like resentful, feel a little bit victimized. You might victimize yourself,
Victimize. That's a big thing.
right? So it's all about perspective. I think life,
Yeah.
99% of it is internal, 1%
In your head,
is
literally.
external,
That's
right?
so true.
So as long as you work on like having a positive perspective and like a excited perspective on life,
Yeah.
then these changes, new news that you might hear or anything, you're going to be able to take it on with a much more strong mindset.
Yeah.
And
Be more resilient.
yeah, you'll be able to be more resilient, right?
Yeah.
So like yeah, and like I think even in Q1, like I had a pretty good Q1. There are a couple of low moments and things like that, which is natural. You
Yeah.
have that, and that's just life. You know, you just discover things that you didn't know about and everything like that. But like how you handle that, I'm really proud of myself for being able to handle it in a more mature manner, because I think there's a part of me that knows that if it was my older self or like my younger self, the way I would have reacted to things would have been much more, more like, what do you call it, self-loathing way,
Yeah.
versus now where I'm like, okay, this
Yeah.
happened. That's good.
That's good. Yeah.
I got to keep on living my life,
Yeah.
move forward.
That's beautiful. Can I share another thing? This is not really a lesson, but like, so just recently, you can probably tell I re-downloaded TikTok because I keep on referring to it.
Yeah.
But on my TikTok For You page, I've been getting so many videos of the Boston Marathon that just happened.
Yeah.
People completing it, people's stories. There's people who, you know, families or actual, not victims, but families or people that were at the Boston Marathon, like bombing that happened. When was it, like 2013 or something?
Yeah.
Whenever that happened. So obviously that's very emotional. So I'm like in bed for an hour going through like the hashtag Boston Marathon, like reading all these stories and stuff. And then I came across a video. I'm sure some people listening have probably seen this too. I don't know if you have, but near the end of the finish line, like the last final stretch of the race, this guy like fell down and like he needed help getting up and he wanted to finish, but like obviously people like have their personal goals, you know, if they have PRs they want to beat or whatever. They were running by him, and then this one guy, his name was Pedro Arrieta or something. I think he was like a Mexican runner or something. He was like the only one that stopped. And even though like that guy seemed like a lot heavier than him, like he like stopped and like, you know, lifted him up, and then they walked the rest of the way or something. And I don't know why. I was like, wow, that's so beautiful. Obviously, that's not the first time I've seen a clip of someone helping someone finish a race or something. But it was like, I don't know, very moving to see. And I was like, hopefully, you know, like I want to strive to be that sort of person where like I can uplift others, right? Because in life we get so caught up in like our own selves and our own goals that I'm like, but it's also important to be a good person, be kind to other people, uplift them and stuff. And I'm not saying I do that. I'm saying I want to do that, right? I feel like that would be another, not like a lesson, but maybe a goal I have for the rest of the year, for the remaining 3/4 or 2/3. Yeah.
Quarters, 3/4.
And the 2/3 because we're at the end of April.
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah. No, that's a good point. I think many times what I've started to realize is I've become so self-focused.
Yeah.
Like there's a part of me that's always like, I want to become a better version of myself. I want to grow, where it's all become how I can help myself become better.
Yeah.
It would be nice for me to start thinking more about like how I can help the people around me. And then I'm not like thinking of like anything like, you know, crazy or something. Just simple things like, you know, just talking to people, reaching out to them, see what they're going through, see if I can just lend an ear sometimes, or if I genuinely have some good advice or I've gone through it, sharing that, or connecting them with people that could help them, or even just like helping out, whatever I can do. I think it has always, whenever I've done that in the past, I've always made me feel really good and made me feel more satisfied. So that's a good point to have. Was there any tough moments that you faced in Q1, and if you managed to handle them, how did you do that?
I'd say the like, I wouldn't say a tough moment, but in terms of the general theme of my tough moments, it'd probably, again, you have to understand I'm in school, so for me, it's very much academic stressors and stuff. And I feel like the way that I've handled them was honestly the company I have around me, my friends, my roommates. They're all amazing people. I say friends, but really it's just one friend. Serena, shout out to you. But like having people with, good heads on their shoulders around you has really helped, because like I'll freak out over something and then I have like my roommate or my friend being like, it's like, you'll be fine, right? Or like, rather than freaking out, what can you do about it to stop yourself from freaking out? But I think tough moments would definitely be like, just like the added stress of exam season, or like putting off like a final project or something, or just being worried about like even the future or something. But like having people around me that I can talk to, that I can go to, has really, really been like amazing. So I would say, What about you?
For me, I would say it would be like, number one, when I was kind of going through the job change and stuff, there was a lot of uncertainty, and I didn't know how to like handle that uncertainty, where like I was kind of confused on where I wanted to go, what my career would look like, what decisions I would have to make. And I was in a place where like I was kind of navigating that landscape with my old manager, so I didn't want to like ruin things with my old manager. And in those moments, just like you said, like I had people I could lean on, my mom being one of them, Maiman, Dave, all these guys, my close friends. I could rely on them to have conversations. As well, another tough moment it's not a tough moment, but just like a life lesson, is that life is always gonna go on. Life doesn't wait for anyone. Right? The people in your past are going to move on. They're going to make decisions. They're going to move forward. Everyone has the right to live their own life. Right? So, like, I think listening to that, not listening to that, but like tapping into that became something I learned from Q1. Is that nobody waits for anybody, and life just continues moving on, and change is part of life. That's why I said change would be the best word to describe Q1. Like, it wasn't a tough moment, but just like a good lesson that I needed to hear. Other than that, like, to be honest, I had a pretty good.
I would say too, we've both been grateful to have like a pretty blessed quarter one.
Yeah, and like I don't want to focus on like the small things that bothered me, because those things, like, if I were to really think about it, they bothered me for maybe 1 or 2 days in total.
Yeah. Right. Okay, kind of taking it more, like you said, not focusing on the negative, but do you have any like funny memories or moments, or like just like something silly that happened this quarter one? Like, I can start first if you want.
Go ahead.
So me and my roommates, we've always had, I think when we first moved into our place in September, it's a house unit. So we have a porch, and underneath the porch there's a bunch of space and stuff. So naturally animals will, go there, burrow there. And when we were moving in, one of my roommates' dad was like, I think I saw like an animal under there, like a groundhog or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
And then I think in February I'm going to class. No. My roommate was going to class, and I had locked the door afterwards. I go inside, and then she texts us in the group chat saying, there's a raccoon on the porch. This was daylight. Usually raccoons come out at night.
Yeah.
And it was and then I didn't really believe her. I was like, oh, whatever. And then one of my other roommates was like, oh, usually raccoons, don't they come out during the day if they have rabies? So then we freaked out. We're like, what? Thankfully, the raccoon was very respectful, though. Like, as soon as we opened the door to leave the house, it would hide. And then same day, a few hours later, I'm heading to campus to go to class. I see the raccoon. I think it was a she. I saw the raccoon, and she was...
How did you know it was a she?
She just looked motherly, but she was very fat. She was a very big raccoon. But she was so kind. She like...
Oh, yeah? She said, like, how are you doing today?
Exactly, yeah.
May I have your garbage, please?
Exactly. No, but, like, she moved out of the way. And then, fast forward a few weeks later, I guess last week, we're heading to campus to go study for exams and stuff. And now there's a groundhog that frequents our porch as well. It's really cute, though. I feel like the groundhog is a he.
Okay. And how?
I just know. Anyways, this groundhog... It's so cute. It'll, like, be just chilling. Oh, my God. I threw out a cantaloupe the other day, like half of a cantaloupe, because it got, like, waterlogged, so I couldn't really eat it. And it ate it all. And then I was like, low-key, I want to put more fruit out for it and stuff. But then
That's how you get more rodents.
More and more rodents, yeah. You're right. But we've just had, like, random animals coming. Oh my God, this one time, unfortunately, we had a dead bird on our porch as well.
Mm.
We just have a lot of wildlife coming to our porch, which is funny. Another funny moment, I can't really think of one. Oh, actually, we just like the area that we live in our like town or whatever at uni. It's just like there's always random people. Like it's a student town, so you have random people yelling and random incidents happening. Odd people on scooters, people biking and scootering on the sidewalk. So you always have to look out for that. The day that there was like freezing rain and then hail or something, one of our windows shattered. Like on our, like the storm doors you have before your main door, like the glass door, the storm door. One of those panes fully shattered, like just fully from the top to the bottom. And I think it was because of like the pressure from like it being warm, and then it got cold all of a sudden, and then it froze, which is crazy. So just a lot of house mishaps that have been happening to us. But it was really funny in the moment.
Yeah. You made some new friends, I guess.
Yeah, I did.
Groundhog and a raccoon.
Yeah. Felt like a Disney princess. Yeah. What about you?
For me, like the freshest moments right now are from my trip. Like
right.
I literally came back from it like 2 days ago. But like obviously I'm not gonna like expose anyone or anything like that.
What happens in Nassau stays in Nassau.
What happens on the independence of the seas stays on the independence of the seas.
Exactly.
But before I was coming back from Miami, I witnessed a really weird but funny incident, but serious at the same time, where like we were at a Taco Bell.
Yeah.
I was waiting for my order, and then like it got heated, like back in the kitchen or something like that, where like I guess it was just rush hour. So like I was already waiting for my order for like 20-25 minutes, which I knew like, okay, this is definitely like way too long, and there's definitely some sort of like problem, something happening in the back. And then I just started seeing this lady raise her voice, and then another lady raises her voice, and then there's a fight.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Between two employees.
Two employees are scrapping in the back of the Taco Bell.
Were they throwing hands?
Yeah. But the funny thing is the lady gave me my order and then went to fight. I'm like, thank you. Because I'm like, at least I got my food. But yeah, they fought. And
work comes first. And
work comes
beef
first.
Comes second.
And then like we were kind of nervous, like, yo, it's Miami. You never know. Like, somebody could have a Glock, and then they can shoot us and shoot up the place. So we're like, all right, we need to get out of here. But I made sure to get my mild sauce before I left.
Perfect.
So once I got my mild sauce,
you also had your priorities straight.
Yeah, I also, you got to eat.
Yeah.
Yeah. I got all my food, and we're about to head. And then one of my other friends, Rohit, while all this is going on, we're like, yo, let's go. He's busy eating. So he's like dipping his fries in his nacho sauce. I'm like, oh, my brother, we got to leave. We don't know what's going to happen. But that was like probably the funniest and weirdest thing that happened. Other than that, like, I don't know. It's just a great time when like all the guys get together because there's like so many of us. There's always something happening.
Yeah.
Right? Like somebody's either saying something stupid or doing something dumb. But yeah, it was a good time. I'm really grateful for my friend group. I'm really grateful to be able to like go on trips with them, and I'm looking forward to more trips with them. We were originally all sad because we are losing some friends and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But, like, I think this trip kind of reminded us that no matter what, like, we still have each other, and like, it's still going to be fun. Exactly. It's going to change. And we're going to have new members in the future.
Like you said, life happens. Life keeps moving forward.
Yeah, we're going to get new friends as well. Like, their wives are going to probably join, and like their girls and stuff.
Their kids.
Oh, that's a funny thing. We kind of made a deal that no one's allowed to have kids until everyone's ready. So like our friends our kids need to be part of the friend group as well.
So I feel like interesting.
What?
I feel like you should also factor in like their wives and stuff. Make sure those wives are on board because
that's fine. They have no choice.
Like, what do you mean?
Like, wouldn't it be cool, like 2-generational friend group?
Well, yes, but I feel like people are allowed to have their own timelines.
I don't care. But anyways,
okay. That's very wishful thinking. You know what?
Yeah.
I hope that happens.
Yeah. I'll probably be the lagging indicator. So if anyone's ready who's listening to this wants to have kids with me, let me know. I'm just kidding. Yeah.
Shout out Dave.
Dave is obviously down like always, but unfortunately that's not possible.
Biologically, it may not work.
Yeah. So if you're a female, and then if you're down, let me know. But other than that, yeah, like it was a pretty good Q1.
Yeah. Kind of like segueing off of that, like things we're looking forward to.
Mm-hmm.
As you said, I'm still a little confused why we're calling it Q1. It should be third one, but whatever. I'll move past that. What are you looking forward to for the rest of the year, or maybe the second quarter of the year? For me, I got a little jealous hearing about going on all these trips with your friends and hanging out.
Yeah.
Obviously, my whole friend group, where we were up until literally yesterday, examining and exam, school, and all that. But now we're all done, which is amazing. 2 of my close friends actually finished university.
Congratulations to them.
Congratulations to them, which is crazy. So I'm finally gonna get to go hang out with them and just enjoy the summer with them. I'm so stoked for that.
Yeah, and congratulations to all the people listening who just finished exam.
Oh yes.
I know a lot of our listeners are kind of in that age group in university navigating. So congratulations to them. And if you haven't already, make sure to check out last week's episode. That's for our university student listeners.
Yeah. Just want to add, however your exams went, they're done now. Enjoy life. Be happy.
Yeah,
enjoy your summer. At the end of the day, that one exam, that one grade won't matter much in like 5 years or 10 years or something.
Yeah.
But yeah, what else am I looking forward to? Just summer. We've been going on walks yesterday and today. The weather is finally good. That means there's no more, gray clouds and stuff. That means I finally get to see my favorite thing ever, which is sunsets. So happy every day. I'm so excited to look out my window and see sunsets. I plan on eating copious amounts of ice cream and frozen yogurt. I had some today after dinner as well. That being said, I also want to go on a little bit of a health grind.
Yeah.
So I gotta figure out how I'm gonna balance. Maybe I'll just blend fruit or like eat frozen strawberries or something.
Well, maybe we got an ice cream machine.
Oh, like the Ninja Creamy thingy.
Ninja Creamy. I don't mind. I can buy it
from Costco.
Yeah, that's kind of sick.
We should do that.
Like,
we can make our own.
Yeah, I can make like protein ice cream.
Or we can make frozen yogurt and stuff too.
Yeah.
With Greek yogurt.
Okay.
Okay. What else am I looking forward to? I'm just excited. I don't have work lined up until July, so May, June is more so volunteering, just enjoying the summer.
Yeah, just take some time to chill.
And then I've mentioned this before, but I love the work that I do. So
yeah. And I just want to say, like, if you guys who are listening to this are like, oh my God, I need to get an internship or some experience, I'll tell you this, the rest of your life you're going to be working. Like right now, I don't really get like 4 months off. Right? And you're never going to get that time ever again in your life, because once you start working full time, unless you're laid off or something, you don't get time off like that. So enjoy it. Enjoy your summer. You only get this for like a couple of years. So don't be afraid to kick back and relax.
And have some fun, yeah. What about you? What are you looking forward to?
Yeah, I'm kind of similar like you. These Q2 is like the beginning of like the warmer months. And
so excited.
So excited. I've already gone and played golf, like played 18 holes 3 weeks ago. So like more golf is on the way. I'm super excited for that. I'm excited to run outside.
Me too.
I'm tired of running inside, so excited for that. Excited for walks. Excited for just like warm weather and like, spending time on my deck. Last summer, I literally worked from my deck. Like I would wake up, make my coffee, head out on the deck, and we have a gazebo, so I would just spend like all of my time just working out there.
Hopefully you'll put on sunscreen.
Yeah, I'm not messing around with the sun no more. Like literally, guys, if you're looking at me right now, I look like I have a disease.
Yeah.
So it's that bad, but it's getting better. So excited for that. And I'm also excited for my friends. One of my friends is getting married. 2 of my friends are getting engaged.
Right.
So I'm excited to celebrate them, excited to spend time with them, and, just happy for that. We had our first, like, dance practice for one of my friends' wedding, and I can tell you, bro, that was the funniest thing ever, because we have a pretty big friend group, and not all of us can dance.
Or coordinated,
and, like, I was dying. When I say, like, dying, like, almost puking dying.
Oh, my God.
So excited for more moments like that.
Oh, my God. Can I share a moment that I forgot to share?
Yeah.
For like one of my highlights. I can't believe I forgot this. We pulled a prank on one of my roommates.
Okay.
Literally our last night together, because the day after one of our roommates was done exam, so she was going home. So it was a beautiful end to the 4 of us living together, at least just for this year. We're back together in the fall. But one of our roommates, the youngest one actually, she's in first year, she messages saying, oh, I'm bringing 2 friends over. We're going to drop some stuff off and then leave to go get some dessert. So we're like, and then she's like, just letting you know, so don't be alarmed, right? Because these 2 friends we've never met. And my one roommate was like, I think this is a perfect time to pull a prank. So we decided to do, I don't know if you've seen this, but like you pretend you're doing witchcraft. I don't know if you've seen it.
No,
Did I not show you this?
No, I haven't seen this.
I showed mom too.
Oh,
And I showed Didi. Oh my God, I'll show you the video after. We posted it on TikTok too. But we all shut off the lights in our living room. I lit a candle. We sat, we put on like our blankets, you know, the comfy that I have from Costco? Put that on. We held hands. We played, was it Romanian witchcraft music?
Okay.
All the lights off. And you know, you've seen my house. It's like a rickety wooden house. It's like,
Yeah.
it's creepy. And then so she walks in and we're like swaying back and forth.
No, my God.
The music is playing. We recorded her reaction too. Oh my God, it was so funny.
Yeah.
And
Was she scared or something?
she was just like, she walks in, her friends gasp. They're like, what's going on? Then she's like, guys, did you not see my message? And then one of the friends that she brought was like, oh my God, I think I've seen this on TikTok. It was really funny.
Yeah.
I can't expose any names or anything, but one of us did let it rip right before my roommate entered.
Oh,
So
my
we were
God.
so we were all laughing because someone crop tested, and we had to keep it in. And like you said, like, you know, when you're laughing so much you feel like you're gonna pee yourself.
Yeah.
That happened, but it was a beautiful ending to our time together.
Mhm.
And I love that we have it documented, so I can, if I'm ever down, I can watch that video and just laugh.
Yeah. No, that's good.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think that's a good summary of Q1.
Yeah.
We're looking forward to Q2. We will provide you with our annual reports end of Q4. But until then, don't forget to look out for our quarterly updates.
Mm-hmm.
Whether Q1 felt like a win, a work in progress, or a wild ride, the important thing is that we're still showing up. A new quarter means new chances to grow, to refocus, and to move with a little more clarity and confidence. Thanks so much for spending some time reflecting with me and Buddy today. As always, let's keep it real, keep it honest, and keep it moving. See you in the next episode of The Ordinary.